So, do you know how to shift from a direction that you were about to head into that you know isn't the path you want to follow to a different direction that is going to bring more inner fulfillment, more joy into your life, internally and externally? So, of course, it starts with you being aware that, oh, we're about to go down this path. It's a trigger, a reaction, a old thought pattern, worrying, projecting out into the future, dwelling on the past. It's with that number one priority of how do I feel right now and shifting that into joy where that starts with your awareness and then taking the deep breath. Always a deep breath to break the mind pattern, to bring you into your body, because that's where you have a choice. And now that you took a deep breath, your parasympathetic nervous system is coming online. Now you have access to clear thinking, which I promise you, you didn't have if you were going down the path of fear. And if you chose not to breathe, that choice isn't there. So, this is such a powerful place to be. Now you're aware, you take a breath, you've opened up a space within yourself to choose. What are you going to choose from here? Now, whether this is being reactive to somebody out on the street, maybe you're driving and somebody cuts you off, maybe it's an interaction with a loved one, a family member, maybe it's in response to the neighbors, the world, the news. It could be anything, your own health, your own internalized worries and concerns. How do you choose now what to do? I'm going to encourage you today through this video to choose what is really going to benefit you, what's going to bring you more internal wholeness, fullness. You could call it love, joy, inner peace, fulfillment, happiness, and what is also going to bring more of that into your outside world. So, how do we get to that best choice? Now, and I don't want to overly complicate things as though there's only one choice because life is about constant progress, not perfection. It's about constantly making little bitty changes that over time add up to a whole different reality. So, the first thing when you take a breath is, of course, realizing that that already was a win. Good job, good job, good job, good job, good job. Always celebrate yourself. Good job, I caught it. Yes. Celebrate every win, and I promise you, your body hears it, your mind hears it, all of your energy field hears it, and all parts of you are like, okay, we're going to do that again. We're going to do that again because that felt good. You're programmed, you're designed to feel good. You know, like all this stuff lately about dopamine seeking, you're meant to feel good, to feel joyful, to feel alive. So start choosing to create that in ways that actually enhance your life, make your life better, rather than, sometimes we choose destructive things. So it's about constantly adjusting these things into the direction that we want to go. And it's all about direction. It's not about perfection. It's about setting that direction. And let's say it's up here. And some days you're going to go, and you're wait, oh, we're going back to, oh no, we went too far this way. Oh no, we're going, ooh, but guess what? You're going this direction. If you set an intent, a commitment, and it's like the word intent is kind of weak. For me, it is an absolute come hell or high water. I am doing this. I'm going to be happy. I'm going to enjoy life more than ever. Go big or go home. That was me 10, 15 years ago. That I don't care what it takes. I'm going to get healthy and happy from the inside out, and nobody can stop me. It will take a divine freaking miracle to stop me, right? So if you have this resolve, you don't have to have it. Like I'll say, you don't have to feel like you have it today. Resolve is something you choose. It's something you dig deep inside and say, do I want life to suck or do I want life to be better? Am I worth it or not? I mean, the decision is actually quite easy, but digging deep to get the resolve inside of you takes all of you, all your effort. And once you choose, damn it, I'm doing this. This is it. this is the life I'm going to have, it'll happen. And you just keep going that direction. And you don't worry about, the ebb and flow of life. There's times that, just like the seasons, the trees aren't always growing leaves. They have little hibernation times, right? Just like you. So the point is that you set that sight up here. Now, I'll share with you how I define it because we all get to choose. And that is, let's see. I'm a facet of source. I am creator embodied. My creator and I are one. I am an instrument of source. We are one. And I'm here to enjoy life more than ever. Help me to embody, be, and express as the love that I am. Help me to feel the love that I am. Help me to feel how loved I am. Help me to be that pure, true expression beyond all fear and conditioning. Show me the truth. Make me an instrument. Let's go. There. That pretty much summarizes what I have firmly decided for definitely well over a decade. And it's gone like this. So, in each moment, coming back to shifting your state of consciousness from down here to up here, what do you do? Now that you've taken a breath and you realize I was about to go down this path. So I'm going to give you the first tip. You ask. Ask. The ego doesn't have to be in charge. Your ego has never really been in charge. It has tried to take charge. It's still trying to take charge. Mine's always grasping at me, looking for a hook, looking to see if I'm going to fall asleep, pull me back into something. It's always there. It's always projecting doubt, self-doubt, whatever, shame, guilt, not good enough, not lovable, doom and gloom. Do you feel the doom and gloom in the mass consciousness? Do you see what's happening out there in the news? Yeah, that's all old energy. You get to choose to go beyond that. So, in every moment, my question, if you would like to implement something like this, is all right, I see this old state of consciousness. I don't want to go there. That's not me. Now, creator self, family, show me what is in my highest and best good and the highest and best good of all concerned. Really, just show me, again, make me an instrument. What would be best for me and everyone? Because there is always one choice that is truly going to benefit you, your life, long term, your health, your joy, everything. And there is one choice that will also benefit everyone else. You don't have to step on anyone else to get to the top. Actually, that is part of the beauty of awakening. We're all in this together. And the more we help each other out, what I do to another, I'm doing to me. And giving is the greatest gift. And the first person that you got to give to, though, is yourself. And by doing this, you give to yourself all your original, pure energy. So ask. Take a deep breath and ask. Whether you ask God, Creator, Source, the angels, archangels, ascended hosts, whatever pure higher consciousness you like to collaborate with, kind of all comes down to the same thing. It's you as source in many different forms. I promise you, if you ask, you will get an answer. Maybe in that moment, you don't get an answer, and then you just take a breath. You don't have to do anything right away. You go into your heart center. You feel who you truly are. Now, I'm going to give you an example of this because one is coming to mind. I had a whole situation with my daughter years ago. This is a perfect example where we sometimes get into it with other people. We react instead of responding out of wisdom. And this was about 10 years ago. My daughter was 16-ish. She had just gotten her license not long ago. And so she was in high school and it was midnight. I'm waiting for her to come home. 1 a.m. Whew, I'm getting effing pissed. Okay. Where is she? She didn't call. I tried calling her. No answer. Not answering my text. I'm breathing. I'm waiting. And maybe around 2 a.m. or so, I hear the door creak open. Now, thankfully, I could see myself a mile away coming into not a great state of consciousness, right? Like getting angry right there. Okay, what can we do to resolve this? So I asked, and let me tell you, it's not like I asked and I got the answer right away. This was any parents out there or anybody who's been in a situation where, I mean, you're trying your best, but oof, you're upset. And my anger wasn't anger at her, it was fear. It was fear, like, because I don't know where she is. Is she okay? Is she dead in a ditch? So it was probably a good thing I had 2 hours of waiting for her before she came home, because by the time she got home, I had taken a breath and asked. And the answer came so clearly: Cathy, do not attack her. And your voice is always going to give you that answer, by the way. When she comes home, be kind and loving. Wow. Well, from an angry parent to kind and loving, let me tell you, my little ego had a lot of resistance. That's why I needed 2 hours. Like, well, no, but I'm gonna kick her butt, right? So the answer came: ask her if she's okay. And it was like, when you get the right answer, you go from battle mode, and your body's all tight and tense, to wow, your shoulders drop down, your heart opens, it all makes sense. This is how you know you're getting a good answer. It makes sense, clarity, truth. So now, when she came home, I could have just laid into her, which would have been an old pattern of mine. That would have been my parents, right? Like, thank God I stopped, I breathed, and I asked. And I was committed to finding the highest choice for both of us. That little battler didn't want to give up the fight. But when she opened the door and creeped in, and I said, it's 2 a.m., are you okay? She started crying. She had a rough night. There was some drama going on. Yeah, maybe a little bit of it was to get sympathy and not get in trouble. But she opened up, she told me the story. You know what? It turns out being like 16 years old is really, really, really tough and really complicated. And as a parent, you don't always remember that. You don't remember all the pressure from your friends and your own ego forming through that adolescent age where you're trying so hard uh, to feel good about yourself. What a beautiful switch. So, if you could do that with everything in your life, I want you to just take a breath with me and think about, where in my life do I react? Where do I react not out of love, but out of judgment? With who? Within what relationships? Who am I judging? And could I take a breath next time and ask? And you're not always going to get an answer right away. So, what if you don't get an answer? What if you've got a problem that you keep asking about and you're like, gosh, I just don't quite know how to get to the bottom of this? Well, a couple other things that you can try, because, you know, listening to videos like this, as I listen to my main facilitator and many facilitators and thousands of teachers over the years, if you get stuck somewhere in your life and you're like, yeah, that's usually where I get stuck, or I go into that reaction, then write yourself a note, write some notes. So choose your state of being, make that a priority. When you notice yourself going down a bad path, take a deep breath. Number 3, ask. Because I promise you, when you're in that negative spiral, you're not going to think of these things. Like, most likely, it's going to take a lot of effort and a lot of work to get to the place where you're thinking of these things, unless you've practiced again and again and again. So write yourself notes, do yourself a favor, and give yourself reminders everywhere so that when you're in those moments that you go into that knee-jerk reaction, you have this little no, oh, that's right. Hold on. I can totally change this just like that. And if you're stuck for a while and you're like, well, I don't know, I've been dealing with this problem for ages, I'd like you to consider somebody in your life, somebody that you know. It can be a teacher, a leader, maybe it's a grandparent, maybe it was one of your managers at one of your jobs, or a teacher in high school, a baseball coach. I want you to think of somebody who you admire or who you aspire to be more like. For years I said, what would creator Cathy do? For years before that, I always said, what would Will do? Because he was my facilitator. Well, what would Will do in this situation? Oh, yeah. You think about somebody who has sort of like overcome this already, who's mastered it, and you say, well, what would they do? And then you're like, well, they definitely wouldn't do what I was about to do. And you'll start getting ideas. You'll start realizing things that they've shared. So take a breath and ask. Ask yourself first. If nothing comes, consider somebody's behavior that you would like to model or emulate. Doesn't mean you're copying them or becoming them. You're going to do it in your own way. But the same principles that practically all the teachers teach, all the masters have shared, it's the same stuff, just said a million different ways. Take a breath, get in your body, calm your nervous system, know that all is well. Ask and you shall receive. And the kingdom of heaven is within. If you choose it and you set your sights right here and say, that's what I'm going to experience on earth with resolve, without doubt, it will happen. And you have that power. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for being committed to bringing heaven on earth. And that's what so many of us came here in this lifetime to do. If you would like any support on your journey, check out my website, check the description box below. I have lots of free gifts. I have free courses you can try out. I have lots of group events, and I do private sessions and coaching programs. So thank you so much for being here in your body right now. Namaste.